mama salute. Now we all come together as well on. For tomorrow, now we go make salute.
Yes, let me quickly borrow the words of Nelson Mandela. We say there is no short thing as past freedom. Family, now welcome back to yet another very important analysis. I know say a good number of una don't wait for the news. Some of una don't hear the news, some of una don't hear it. It's a breaking news. It's a sad day. But before we come for can read for now the judgments, the punishments where the High Court judge Andre Fisher don't give to LAJ. Law we play one of the music. You know, sometimes you can do something not even know say the value of this music now is more value for LAJ. Lord listen this music quickly and can read for now within the courts, the High Courts just say.
I just wanna live my life. Oh yeah. I need my freedom. No network. Yeah. I just want me freedom. Freedom for the words you want for do. I just want me freedom. Freedom for say words you want for say. I just want me freedom. Oh, I need my space. I just want me freedom. From the one with the heads. I just want me freedom. You gotta make me the big. I just want me freedom. 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 For the words you want for do. I just want me freedom. Freedom. For say words you want for say. I just want me freedom. Oh, I need my space. I just want me freedom. From the one with the heads. I just want me freedom. You gotta make me the big. I just want me freedom. See, I wanna be free from the world. I wanna be free from the hate, the lies, the una all. And I want to be free from the law. I want to be the best, the highest, and I talk una all. Man, they want chase me, but they beat gone. No one hates me, no go live long. Take cat house, RFM, LA. No network for the one, no delay. With the youth money, they send a LA. When they take that truth, you then send a LA. Where I change Salome, they not send a LA. Where I make red sell, they not send a LA. What this one is coming to? What direction we're going to? What this one is coming to? And the big go, I just want me freedom. Freedom for the words you want for do. I just want me freedom. Freedom for the words you want for say.
So family, that was just an intro. So finally, we don't come to the end of the road. We don't follow this case. Stay. Lord, go quickly. Lord, we read for now the punishments where Andre Fisher don't give LAJ 9 years imprisonment. We don't want to waste much time. Now, but before even he get this punishment of 9 years, they ask her, when they follow the case, they ask her for he go think about what he get for Kansas City Day, the 17th of March. Now, Lord read waiting LAJ say first. Because this case, for we don't come 4 o'clock, will be facing the court this case or the court the case 4 o'clock. But the no court after LAJ don't put in plea, he don't accept all the charges, all the guilt, he don't apologize. And the Fisher say, okay, Lord, recess take place, then we'll come back. Finally, then come back and pass judgments. Lord, read what LAJ say before we come to the judgments. LAJ in play like this. Lord, we look for him first. I think okay, La Rida, because I know one lost his page. La Rida, I get an already. La Rida, I know one lost the page. Now, LAJ, when he kind of courts, now this read. He make an emotional plea. LAJ made a very emotional appeal on his behalf, which moved the court and maybe Justice Fisher. Dressed in white shirt and blue jean, LAJ looked like a reform man. Here are some of the quotations from his plea. This has been the longest 9 months of my life. I am not a thief. I am not a giver. I am a giver. I don't take from people. I have learned my lesson. I stand before you not as LJ the icon, but as Alhaji Amadou Ba, a human being who make mistakes, a human being who hangs out with wrong people, a human being who was at the wrong place at the wrong time. I am so sorry to my fans. I am so sorry to my family. I say sorry to the attendant. I take full responsibility of my action. I have learned my lesson. Being famous, being a musician has caused me so much trouble. I just want to leave. I am dying to leave. This was emotional courtroom, very, very, very emotional. So after this particular statement from Boss Ellie, Judge Andrew Fisher passed this verdict. Now, the verdict did 9 years imprisonment. He's supposed to get 15 years, but they reduced him to 9 years. The prosecutor will ask for 10 years anyway. Now the statement is High Court Judge Justice Andre Fisher has sentenced popular rapper Alhaji Amadou, popularly known as Alhaji, known as LA, to 9 years imprisonment and ordered him to pay compensation to the victims. They're not just sentenced at 9 years, so they ask them for let pay compensation to the victims. Now, Boss LA was found guilty on Monday on all four count of charges levied against him. They include a robbery and assault contrary to the laws of Sierra Leone. It was alleged that in August 2022, Boss LA broke out a fight at the Leonco Field Station at Congo Cross, where he beat up the pump attendant and got away with our sales. All right. So that's not the short one. Anyway, that's when I don't see the now a very short one. That was the judgment where Andre Fisher passed. LJ they served 9 good years in prison, and apart from serving the 9 years, he must pay compensation to the victims. There, I don't know what kind of punishment is this. First, it feel like waiting they happen in some parts na then Iran, then China, where they force you forcefully confess your crime. After that, then pass punishment judgments. They don't get you, they don't hold you. Because I saw Judge Fisher do. Because back last week when where them passed first, they found him guilty. They say make it go think and come back and can say words of plea. When LA come, he accepts all responsibility, he accepts all the charges. So in this particular side force, the law back not Ola because he don't accept responsibility, he don't accept guilt. But I believe so the reason we make LJ do all this, hoping that perhaps Andre Fisher, the High Court judge, will reduce the sentence probably to 1 year, 2 years, or probably even forgive her, since now the first in this way, from what I understand, it did before. So, but the High Court judge, Andre Fisher, not tamper mercy with justice. He interprets according to your wisdom the full weight of the law. Now the aid of LA, 9 good years. And a pantapde LJ for pay compensation, if for pay money, the money we for pay will not able get the amount of money we're supposed to pay to the victims. Since this news just broke out, a raw force, information just the kind side, so we'll able get the exact amount where LJ is supposed for pay, but we'll find out and come back and tell now waiting and the Fisher say if we do. This is not a surprise. The man already served 9 months in prison, plus 9 more years. I don't know if they count all. It don't almost 10 years now eligible for serve. But we don't see people who commit much more heavy crime there na the country where they get away with that, get away with it, or even in some cases they get a lighter sentence. This one, whether you agree or not agree, you get political undertone. It's just the plain truth. And not say not to, true natural bitter, but sometimes na medicine also, because when you take them, they give you relief. This particular case gets political undertone. As una know, LJ na a vocal critic of this government. And we don't see many times anybody will get different opinion. We're not aligned with the government of the day, the EBO regime. If they locate you, you go down the day swell at the hour. People like Kamaremba, now a typical example, because Kamaremba was vehemently opposing, criticizing the government of Sierra Leone. When they catch her, the law deal with severely. We don't know how much years, not to 35 years in Senegal, 50 or 35 years. I don't even remember exact. Here comes LG. And we don't know, perhaps in lawyers and go appeal, but we'll go wait and see. But this one, I feel say the judge, in your wisdom, he act harshly. Because these are the first thing is supposed they come before you with all the plea we don't surround. In picking kind of Facebook can appeal, it can be in France, all LJ, we know that say let impunity prevail. Where somebody commits a crime, it should be punished. But again, sometimes we they use they say they use the tamper mercy with justice in many cases, particularly where this not to death, alleged not to kill a kill person in the first place, kill. And I don't know, but for say he go thief, well, I know robbery. That was very grave. That was very serious allegation. They say alleged he go rob. If for maybe violence or that I agree about robbery, he go thief. Something LJ, we get trademark. He already gets a brand. For let go publicly. Something LJ go thief, he go rob. He has for believer. Sometimes, just like what Cardinero say, we're supposed for help her. Cardinero, what this thing come out first. He can live on Facebook. He say, make them just check. LJ get mental issue. But one thing is, sometimes today not for you. You go be tomorrow go be for the next man. Power not to forever. 100 years, 5 years, 10 years, not to forever. Sometimes what goes around comes around. Cardinal, when are the entertainment ambassador, was supposed to be like an overseer, as a spokesperson, or as somebody who for champion the interest of the entertainers, of all entertainers. The first person we can Facebook Live condemn LG. We're not even found and guilty itself. In fact, that time we're not even able to know yourself the wrong baba. Until later now information come out, then say the wrong baba. Where become an uproar, everybody be there. Where them violating constitutional rights 100%. Nowhere in the constitution where say where somebody when una all an accused, una for prescribed police for prescribed punishment for her. The police get involved. The police not get no rights absolutely in the constitution say them for prescribed punishment. Now the judge them, the law now get rights for prescribed law and punishment, not to the police. They arrest LJ, then dehumanize her, then treat her naked, then barbing her. All of these they abuse in constitutional human rights, both nationally and internationally. So Abifi said the judge will look all into that day, a temper mercy or reduce in punishment because the man don't suffer psychologically he don't trauma already. Imagine, But this is Sierra Leone. I don't know we institutions say. Now that make you find out say we let it go as a country. We let it go. We people we not lack with safe. Caudinero, LJ, then talents them, then be combined them. Sometimes Salom is don't move far. Suicide Nigerians and they far away. They're not care. That I make go they go where somebody will eat, they go Nigeria, go pay them, they take money, they eat them. Because for you succeed now, any entity, for any succeed, you only get for accept you. The Indian music, the Indian film, they're waiting for Indian music popular in the world. Now they sell them for their movies, now their country first. The Indians then buy them movie. In fact, if now recently they begin to translate or speak in English. Up till now, na the dialects because now they the market day. So they popularize their young crafts within their own country, then sell themselves out. What are they try for talk to? The Nigerians then do the same thing. They like their own culture, like their own borders, then support their entertainers. Then now that make them they ahead of we. Salon, we are the reverse. Salomon will like where let Tijan Kaba talker. Let go sorry for we get bad that. Salomon get bad that. Salomon where they some side, he won if na you don't fame force. Now you know more than for Sabi. Now you know more any other person where see one can fame. It is bad that. This now the tip now the beef in this. Okay, it don't matter whether you first make music or you last make music. It don't matter. If somebody get the talent, everybody gets your own time. The biggest problem between LJ and Caldinero, now this beefing because Caldinero will be look at and say that is don't tape a music, so at least anybody who can for can under, but not to so they look at talent. But what are the type of point here is if those two hits and more plus the other one, the Draya Kuzen, the other ones, if they be combine their strengths, then the expertise, the talent, believe me, Sierra Leone music will don't go far. All the musicians will survive in the world, will become an icon, and their own country, they elect them force, then people that they support them. We know they support who say because we get bad at, and because we get bad at, time make Salon music they go before. Look the fact. So, in fact, Caldino be don't prejudice this case already. If we don't convict, Caldino be don't convict in your mind. Say LJ was guilty because he said the man get mental issue. Imagine how they don't even investigate itself. You see? But anyway, this is Sierra Leone. We don't get much for do in this case. We just hope say a lawyers and will put up an appeal and for at least they see what they will do for reduce maybe in sentence. But this is it. We not work on say again ask people asking fans and for demonstrate, because like this is not just a waste of time, because at the end of the day, police and they're ready for kill. They're ready for kill. They're ready for kill. But honestly, I feel disappointed at the verdict because I will look at and say, just at least Andre Fisher giving all the way they treat LJ with the Holland and disgrace her, then you will look at her and say, okay, la reduce this burden suffer already because this guy from today LJ a bad guy, but LJ don't help people there. People in the way don't touch their lives. In music, they don't change lives. In music, they don't support people and they don't benefit from her. It don't help. It don't sensitize. It don't promote. So not to put picture as entirely a bad guy, particularly when it's in a robber. Now I'm robber. So I mean, anyway, family, I go tap now. I go take few texts. Let's take few texts there where they come out from different people there. This one they come out from Mahmoud Fofana, we say the politics of Africa is encroaching on the impartiality of the judiciary. Fisher, I am asking you, what did LJ do to be given a sentence similar to murderers? You are doing what you are told to do. This one, they come out from Ghana, was 9 years in prison for stealing 1 million leones. Good question. 9 years, imagine. People and then the thief. What about the one? He had to log on the text there. This one they come up from Michael Conte. We say LJ case is politically motivated. Yeah, I agree with you. This one they come up from Sue. We say I pray that God gives his family grace and strength, especially his child that does not understand what our dad is going through and not seeing him or hearing from him. This one they come up from Princess Rosie. Okay, greetings to TPP Leon. There is no justice for those that are against BO's government. LJ has been charged and sentenced from the day he was arrested. All the court case is just a formality. All right, so from Mbule, we turn up plenty. Thank you. Now this we get time for. We'll come back hopefully tomorrow with another important segment. I don't know if we will play LJ in freedom, at least let us feel our freedom is so sweet. You know, this guy is all right. Okay, we'll see.
Freedom, freedom, I just want me freedom, freedom, I need my space, from the one with the hair, girl, I make me yeah, we know today, but we don't know tomorrow. Left, right, talk till you don't know. The rapper them gone, make them so. Your lyrics snap inside this, so I took over like AFRC. I like you rap tete, not to for me, huh? Man, I need 3D for see me clearly. I like you use the Ferrari, you not go able to chase me. I'm a gospel for rap, I born with time. I look like they say, I born me time. I'm the hip hop best with different pattern. I can get what you get, what I mean, no one time. I need my freedom like Sarafina. I'm on to the next one, no get time for una. You can tell that I'm progressing. All I want in my life, I just want me freedom, freedom. I just want to live my life. I just want me freedom, for say words I want to say. I just want me freedom. Oh, I need my space. I just want me freedom. From the one with the head. I just want me freedom. Girl, I make me the big. I just want me freedom. Freedom. Words I want to I just want me freedom. Freedom. Words I want to say. I just want me freedom. Oh, I need my space. I just want me freedom. From the one with the head. I just want me freedom. Girl, I make me the big. I just want me freedom. Everything in the general must see a doctor me.